Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Good evening, darlings, and welcome, and I don't say this very often, to Friday Night Live, where unexpectedly, unexpected live stream tonight, unexpected, I'm coming into your eyes and ears again, directly from Windy Bum here in the Peak District National Park. And I do apologise for bothering you on a Friday night when normally I leave you in peace. Don't worry, I'm only going to be here for half an hour. Well, to be quite honest, I've had a really productive day today. Uploaded loads of stuff, done a load of housework. I've been whizzing around this cottage like greased weasel droppings. And I'm kind of pretty much caught up. And I just fancied saying hello to you for a few minutes. I genuinely miss you all when you're not there on this little screen in front of me. And it was unexpectedly quiet at work tonight. It was dead. It really was dead. I sent the driver home at about 7:30 after he'd been sitting there for an hour and a half and doing nothing. So there we are. How are you, darlings? How's your day been? Won't expect too many of you tonight because nobody was expecting this. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Chief weapons are surprise and a fanatical. Anyway, enough of that. Chaz Brown. Hi, Boaty. Didn't expect one on tonight. A bonus. No, this is a very unwelcome surprise to us all. Oh, bless you. I've been laid up in bed over the last 2 weeks with a damn virus. Grrr. Bugger. All sympathies there. Hope you're well and truly on the mend, mate, and nice to have you here. Cheeseburger is amongst us, evening all, nice bonus Boaty. Barry is here, hello sir. Don't freeze your glass. Freezing the glass is okay. I like a frozen wine glass. Oh, Liz is here and says, hello, what day is it again? I'm confused. Yes, I know. I'm not supposed to be here. I just, I couldn't resist. Now, that's the problem with me, darlings. I'm incredibly strong-willed. The only thing I cannot resist is temptation. I can resist anything other than temptation. Yes, indeed. Jolly good. You didn't wash the vase, though. It doesn't bloody need washing. It's a what it needs is flowers, mate. It needs some bloody flowers. And it's awkward to wash because it's a long vase and I don't have a dishwasher brush thing. I've just got like one of those, what do you call them? Washing up pad things with the soft, non-scratch scary on one side and the sponge on the other. Sponge, that's probably the word. Oh God, I've got to get up now and make sure it's central. I need to buy a brush thing, don't I? So I can actually clean this, because God knows I wouldn't want my humble little hovel to offend Cheeseburger, would I? God, blood and sands. I mean, what's going on here with this little community of ours? You invite your friends around to your house and they just trample round and criticise your curtains. God. Next Friday, let's all go round to Cheeseburger's house and poke around all his cupboards and drawers and criticise the way he folds his socks. Oh, sock folding. I haven't done that for a while. Now that's a feature. Hold on. Oh, haven't got any out there. Hang on. Have I got? Oh no, I've only got one. I won't be a moment. I'm back. Now, I'm going to do you all a massive favour and show you how to fold socks correctly. Here are a pair of socks that have been laundered. They've seen better days, to be fair, but, you know, so is most of my stuff. I'm very poor, you see, that's why. They've been laundered, and as you can see, they are separate and all creasy-weasy. So, let's see what we can do about that, shall we? Okay, job number one, make sure they are not inside out, which these are. So turn them the right way round. Oh, this one is somewhat recalcitrant. Dear me. There we are. And then, like, straighten them out so that they're, yeah, get them in the right position, smooth them out like that. There you go. See? Like that. Same again with this one. You fucking don't get this from Hub, whatever we're calling him, do you? We should stop picking on poor Ian. You don't get this from Furious Driving, do you? Oh, no. No. Or Joseph Lloyd. Or Mustard, or any of the other superstars whose coattails I desperately try to cling on to in my own little way. Oh, God, this was well and truly creased. Oh, dear. Oh, I've chosen a really bad pair here, don't I? Oh, I can't get it right. What's going on? There we are. Right, so smooth them out, get them in the right shape, and then you place them one on top of the other. So you have the socks like, I should come up there and show you, because you need to see this. Right, so see, we've got them there, smoothed out. Now, what you want to do is hold them like that on the heel part and pivot them in the middle. So you're effectively folding them in half, right? So then you've got that. There's your double heel, can you see? Right, holding the toe side downwards, so you got the toes there, then you got the open sides here. Watch carefully. Hold the toe side, pull up the top one, put your thumb inside, and then using your fingers underneath, pull this up, poke that through, pull it through, tidy it up, and just straighten it out. So there you go. In less than 3/4 of an hour, you've taken one pair of laundered but badly creased socks, which were separate, and that could cause all sorts of problems. You could end up losing one. And look, how neat is that? How neat, how tidy. I mean, that is just perfect, really. You can't deny it. Superb. And then they obviously go into your sock drawer, and naturally you have the heel part to the right hand side of the drawer, and then you go along accordingly. And obviously, if you have to stack one on top of the other, then if this is on the bottom, then the one that goes on top needs to be like that, so that you have a uniform shape. There you go. Look, isn't that brilliant? You're welcome. Next time I'll show you how to fold a plastic shopping bag. God, I spoil you lot, I really do. That hasn't happened for a while, has it? How long were you gone? How long were you gone, darlings? Did you miss all of my sock folding wonderfulness? Dear me. I don't know what's wrong with the bloody internet. I mean, you know, it's lovely weather. It's not raining or howling. Well, it is windy. That's probably enough. Now then, let's see. Where did I get to? Oh yeah, not washing the bars. Unexpectedly quiet, says Cheeseburger. Perhaps interest rate rises are biting. I think it's just the hot weather, to be honest with you, mate. Barry says, I'm just fine, jolly good. Bad Books is here and says, good evening all. Cheeseburger says, the day was fine until 10 minutes ago. Mother-in-law, oh dear me, mother-in-law rushed to hospital, so Mrs. C has gone out. It's going to be a long night. Oh, bless you. Well, thoughts and prayers there. And also, I don't suppose he's going to be watching this for a moment, but thoughts and prayers, everybody, to our friend Andrew, aka Spotty Botty. His father, sadly, or perhaps mercifully, passed away earlier on. So, yeah, sending all love and strength to you, Andrew, if and when you watch this. Stay strong, mate. Oh dear, 83 in the dodgy heart, oh gosh. Cheeseburger says, if you want to criticise how Mrs. Cheeseburger folds socks, then you're braver than me. I'll take her on. I'll take her on. Just show her this video and instruct her that that is how you expect all of your socks to be folded from now on. Oh, Bernard update if you're interested. She pinged me some messages. I was right. She has split up, or she's in the process of throwing the boyfriend out. So there you go. I knew it would be that. I knew it would be that. That's, you know, that's the only reason you get those late night phone calls. So there we are. John Maruzzi says, can't you put a new, in inverted commas, VW Beetle plastic flower in your vase, or the crap ironic imitation thereof? I like real flowers, to be honest. What do you mean they don't match, Cheeseburger? Yes, they do. And then he says, Amy Myrtle had a foot fetish, whoever Amy Myrtle might be. And then he says, furious driving wears gloves. Maybe not when he's folding socks. MC Grinder says, I feel there is no one better for the role of Godfather than me, MC Grinder. Right, well, you're off to a winning start there, Mr. Grinder, because what's his name? Marlon Brando is dead at the moment for tax purposes. So yeah, the role is going spared if they ever do a remake. Cheeseburger, you really are a self-confessed player of the pink oboe. Having watched Boaty spend 20 minutes folding a sock, I'm going to buy a TV license tomorrow. Bad Book says, I've never folded socks. Never-ending supply in the sock drawer. Oh, and Liz says, action replay, please. Coming right up. Coming right up, Liz. Okay, so we'll undo the socks. So, take your socks. Cheeseburger's going to be hating this, and I'm glad. All right, Liz, so you've got your socks there, right? Fold them in the middle, making sure that those ends match up. Just put your finger in there to straighten them out. So you've got your folded socks there. All right, you got your toe bits here, 2 toe bits, 2 open bits. Hold the toe bits underneath. Put your thumb in the open bit of the top one. Extend your fingers, thumb in there, and then just pull this bit up and tuck through like that. And then just pull out the heel and that, square that up, tidy that up. Bob's your uncle, Fanny is your aunt, and is for sale, don't forget. Great bargain. There you go, Liz. Superb. I do like a well-folded sock. I can show you how to fold napkins as well, if you like. Maybe we'll save that for another one. We've only got 14 minutes left. God bless Andrew and Dad. Yeah, absolutely. Pottering opportunity for Boaty, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, possibly. Amy Myrtle, 70s soap star on Crossroads, who is a figment of hubby's imagination. She has long since gone. Was it a wet dream or corpse swap? And Liz is impressed by my sock folding. Thank you, Liz. Swan napkin and other 1970s serviettage. I'll do one very quickly for you. All right. Oh, it's a bit dirty, but never mind. Right, imagine that this is a nice clean linen napkin. Okay, fold in half, like so. I'll come up there and do it. Okay, so we fold it in half. Let's move this. Can you see there? You can't really, can you? Now, if I go further down here, you can see. I'll just put those there for now and change those. Right, so you fold it in half. This corner goes down, forming a right angle. The opposite this corner goes up like that. So you've got it like that. Hold it here and turn it over. Fold this side halfway down. Turn it over. This side over to there, forming a right angle here. This side over to, oh, hello. What's going on here? Oh God, hang on, that got tucked underneath. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, Christ. Oh, right, that napkin's faulty. Let's try this one. These are my dirty everyday ones. Don't judge me for them. I've got beautiful clean ones that I stole from the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. I mean, I say stole. I ordered room service every night to get them. So, you know, they actually cost me about 649,000 times more than going out and buying new ones. Okay, in half, that corner down, that corner up, flick it over, halfway down like that, flick it over, then fold this one down, fold that one across, then this one back up, flip it over. Now, they need to be starched for this to really work properly, but the idea is you'll just have to tuck that one in there. So you end up with your napkin folded like that, but the idea is that when they're starched, then you can just open them up at the bottom. This isn't going to work, but if it was starched, you open them up at the bottom and they sit in the place setting like that, looking like a bit of a crown. Can't do it with a knackered old napkin, but there you go. With a nice starched new napkin, that works really, really well. He'll get his fondue set out next, says Cheeseburger. DJ Beats says, hiya Grinder, hello everyone. My name is Kevin Bates, aka the Albino Seal, and I'm Grinder's right-hand man. Cheeseburger says, Manuel will never be dead. Adam is here and says, good evening, how are we all? And Bad Book says, you are very well house-trained. I bet you get out of the bath for a piss. Are we going outside on Monday, asked Cheeseburger. Would you like to? I think I can probably make that happen, see what the weather's like. Oh, hang on. Let's have a quick look at the weather. Weather. Getting current location. Oh, come on. Is the internet on a go slow or something? Monday, 19 degrees, light rain showers and a moderate breeze. When is the rain coming? It's going to rain all evening. Black clouds, rain. Warnings issued. Oh God, it's great living here, isn't it? It's maybe not looking like outside broadcast, although I have, of course, got the doings, so we could shelter underneath the parasol if you wanted to do that for whatever reason. Oh, fondue, fun Friday retro night, says Liz. What? Oh, right, jolly good. We need an outside live and a thunderstorm, says Bad Books, while sat next to the dodgy barbecue. Yeah, that could be fun, actually. Yeah, let's think about that for Monday night. Right, what else have I got to tell you? Well, hope you've had a good day. What have I been up to today? I have been jolly productive. I did the first channel members only video. So that's a first, yeah. And as I mentioned last night, the idea is going to be, or the format, if you like, is going to be that every day, with the possible exception of Mondays, I'm going to try and do a daily diary. It's not going to be long. It's going to be a couple of minutes where I just do some more personal stuff or behind the scenes stuff or something that you might not otherwise see, but that gives you an insight into the day or shows you something going on with the cars or whatever that otherwise would have slipped by the wayside. And I'll upload that and it will be available to channel members only, and that's as a little bit of a thank you for their kind of continued and formal support, if you like. But obviously I would be horrified at the idea of anybody who's not a channel member because they don't want to be, or they're as poor as I am, or whatever the reason happens to be. I couldn't bear the idea of them totally missing out. So what I'll do, I'll create a weekly digest. So I'll just roll all of the daily diaries into a weekly one, and I'll put that out on a Tuesday night that everybody can see. So you're not going to miss out on anything at all. It's just some of the channel members were asking, can they get some videos that they get early access to? I mean, they're entitled to some perks, bless them. I'm jolly grateful to them, but I'm jolly grateful to all of you. So there'll never be anything exclusive. There's no way that I'm ever going to let any of you entirely miss out on something because you're not a channel member or something like that. But we do have to acknowledge that the channel members have got that regular support going on, and they need something in return. So they're getting whatever they're getting at the moment. They'll get cake. When I turned up in real life, apparently I promised them all cake. Simon remembered that, and he's a channel member. So yeah, so rest assured, at any real life meetup from now on, I'm going to be rocking up with cake for the channel members. And now they get these daily videos, but you'll get them all as well. In Boaty's next how-to, self-tie a proper bow tie. Yeah, I can do that for you. I can absolutely do that for you. Now, here's a lesson in life, right? And I believe in this. A gentleman, a true gentleman, never wears clip-on bow ties or slip-on shoes. And I firmly believe in that. Anybody who wears a clip-on bow tie is a bounder, a cad, a charlatan, an absolute shower, a rotter. Don't wear clip-on bow ties, darling. It's easy to tie a bow tie. Most modern bow ties, they do come with a little clip arrangement so that you can do it the proper way. Don't try and tie it here, right? That way lies disaster. Tie it on your thigh, at the bottom of your thigh. Tie it on there, and then when you've tied it there, then put it around your neck. I can also show you how to tie a Windsor knot with a normal tie and the correct way to wear a cravat. We need to do more stuff like this. Do you remember that brilliant live where I showed you how to drink your soup properly? That was one of my favourites. This is the stuff we need to be doing. Instead of getting carried away with 64 million thousand billion comments that I need to plough through, otherwise people shout at me for being too far behind. You promised cake last Monday too, says Liz. Yeah, but we haven't had a meeting since then. Oh, yeah, oh shit, yeah, I met you, didn't I? And you're a channel member. And you paid for lunch? Oh my God, I feel guilty now. I think I promised cake after Monday, didn't I? Wasn't it on the Tuesday or something that cake was mentioned? I do owe you cake, Liz. That is undeniably, absolutely 100% true. Here is my pledge to you, young Liz. I will ensure that you get cake before this month is out. What's your favourite type of cake, by the way? Weekly diary, will that be Boaty's noshes as well? No, that'll be on the Monday, separate thing. Look, I brought Boaty's noshes back by demand. I got rid of it because no bugger watches it. But then the 3 people who did watch it said, hey, what you doing? We liked that, bring it back. So I brought it back. You know, I do what I can to keep you all happy. My little salt and pepper grinders. Saw Steve Barclay, Health Secretary in our local co-op at lunchtime, in jeans and a t-shirt, neighbouring MP, and that's from Bad Books. Cheeseburger says, the next how-to will be an instructional how to wipe your bum. Well, we've done that, haven't we? I mean, on that first Mad Thursday, you lot came up with the crazy idea that you can wipe your bum while sitting on the toilet, which is absolute balderdash. It is completely and utterly impossible, and I refuse to accept that anybody does this. 100% refuse to accept it. I do not believe that that is a thing, and I'm pretty sure you were all winding me up. Cheeseburger says, I can't fit into my dinner suit. I can. I was I was as fat as I am now when I had it made. Hello all, says Neil Gibbons. Hello Neil, how are you? John says, I want to see Boaty putting on a bow tie. It can happen. Oh, and Bad Books quite rightly says, Cheeseburger, he's covered bum wiping. Sophie is here, Sophie Richardson. Hi Boaty, how have you been? And hello all. I've been pretty damn good actually. Thank you for asking. Everything is everything is good at the moment. Touch wood. Touch wood. I'm loving making videos. I'm loving being with you lot. I'm loving playing with my cars. Work is all good. It's all fine. I'm not having my trousers and pants taken down to top up the gas meter. I'm eating beautiful food. I've got steak tomorrow. How good is that? When did I last have steak? But I've got, all right, it's really, really cheap steak. And I got a load of nectar bonus points. And I bought it with existing bowler. But look at that piece of steak. That is a massive treat for me. And I'm possibly going to, let's check the mustard situation. I know I've got English, but I didn't check my horseradish. Oh, feels good. Oh, look at that. Loads in there. That's nearly full. Oh, that's grand. If you haven't got any of this stuff, buy some. It's amazing. Horseradish mustard, you might know it as Tewkesbury mustard, and it's a game changer. It's a combination of good hot horseradish and Dijon mustard, and it is lovely. So, yeah, steak tomorrow. I'm going to have steak, obviously. I'm going to have it medium rare, of course, because I'm not an animal. Or as the French put it, à point, which I prefer. Medium rare sounds a bit like personal choicey, whereas à point, to the point, means that it's cooked properly. In other words, if you don't have your steak à point, then you're having it wrong. And I like that, you know. And I get a sense of smug satisfaction when I sit in a French restaurant and order steak, and the waiter will say, à point? And I'll say, oui, à point, naturellement. And you get that smug feeling because, and I want to be absolutely clear about this, I want to be unequivocal, to be quite honest with you. If you cook your steak or your beef more than medium rare, you should not be eating it. You shouldn't be allowed to eat it. It should be illegal. And I'm unanimous in that. And there is no argument, I'm just right. And if you think I'm wrong, then I'm not. You are. Now then, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. So I'm looking forward to my steak, but I might do something I haven't done for years and years and years. I'm going to have the steak. It's going to be cooked properly, of course. I'm going to have new potatoes that I will steam, and then I will toss in infused olive oil and herbs, and I will griddle them. But normally I would include tomato with the potatoes, and I would have tomato that was in olive oil with black pepper and griddled. But there is an outside possibility that tomorrow I might have eggs fried in olive oil and butter with my steak and potatoes. Haven't decided yet. I'm going to see how I feel near to the time. But very unusually for me, I have eggs in the fridge because I needed to provide a breakfast for some. You don't need to know about that. That's my private and personal business, actually. So, you know, keep your noses out. It's you don't need to know the ins and outs, and that's possibly an unfortunate choice of phrase. The point is, I've got some eggs left in the fridge, all right, and that's all that you need to know, quite honestly. God, I don't know. It's not enough that you come round my house and criticise my curtains and the cleanliness of my vase. Now you're trying to fidget your way into my very personal and private pottering life. Not that pottering was necessarily involved. Could be nothing to do with that at all. And quite honestly, you've all got dirty minds. How do you know it's the well dressing this weekend? How do you know I didn't have the vicar round and wanted to give him a boiled egg, eh? You don't know, do you? You haven't got an answer to that. So, think on, you dirty buggers. Now then, steak looks night, says Cheeseburger. Gosh, oh hang on, I've missed a few. Where did I get to? Oh, we were saying hello to Sophie, weren't we? Of course we are. Can you demonstrate a slip knot? It's not too far off your table. Cheeseburger, you're a dreadful man. And then says, Mark, I must have fallen asleep through that one. That was a bum wiping one. You wouldn't have fallen asleep through that. That was the first mad random Thursday where everything just went off on one. And Bad Book says, I had nightmares and couldn't sleep, so that explains why you saw it. Need a feature, says John. Boaty's bow ties to complement Boaty's bogs and Boaty's bins. Yeah, why not? Oh, Jaden's here, everything cars, evening all, good evening to you. The steak looks night, says Cheeseburger. I think that might be a typo. Might have gone for nice there. And he completely agrees on horseradish mustard because he is a very, very sensible chap. If you haven't got horseradish mustard in your life, you're missing out. Get some bought. Sainsbury's do it now, amazingly. Nobody else does, as far as I'm aware. The only way you'd get Tewkesbury mustard would be to go to Tewkesbury or order it online, but Sainsbury's do it. It's only the same price as their English mustard or Dijon mustard, so there's no excuse. Get it bought, it'll change your life. Jaden saw a lovely Rover 45 and 75 today, jolly good. Cheeseburger says, the Yanks cook their steaks rarer than we do. Discuss boats. Gosh, well, now, I'm probably going to agree with you on that one, to be honest. But what I love about the French is that there are many French restaurants that if you request your steak over medium rare, they will actually refuse to serve you. And I support that wholeheartedly. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've eaten all that many steaks in America, and I can't think why. Maybe it's because I didn't trust them to cook it. The last steak I can remember having in the States, bizarrely and improbably, was at the Cheesecake Factory in Las Vegas. But on that Las Vegas trip, I had the misfortune to have been taken drunk for the whole trip, apart from the day when I hired the Escalade and drove us all out to the Hoover Dam. The rest of the time I was just permanently puddled, and I can't remember what the steak was like. That's the problem with America. You don't remember a lot of it because you're just drunk, quite frankly. Don't forget, says Liz, to tickle the like button. That would be really kind of you. I would genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, Liz, for the reminder. Stroke suggestion. Eggs, says Cheeseburger. Over easy? Yeah, that would be my preference. Boaty has scored, says Cheeseburger. Liz says, how can you eat eggs when you object to milk? Flawed logic there, Boaty. Well, as the rest of you will discover when you watch parts 2 and 3 of Monday's lunch video featuring the lovely Liz, then my morality and my logic is very much dependent upon what suits me at any given moment in time. If you watch tonight's video, and not many of you have as yet, perfectly understandably, because it's been an absolutely gorgeous evening, and I'm sure you all had better things to do. But it kind of, at the end of the video, we're getting to the point where Liz and I, she's starting to find out what I'm really like and take some issue with my standards of personal morality. So yeah, I'm perfectly willing to ignore logic and my own laws of morality, and even tell lies when it particularly suits me to do so. But then I'm honest about that. So overall, I'm a very, very moral person, because when I'm immoral or hypocritical or downright criminal, I tell you about it. And that makes it okay, doesn't it? Think about it, right? Now, God says, and I mean the Christian God, not the real God. God says, or the Bible says, or, you know, the followers of that false God, no offense to him, I'm sure he's a lovely God. He's just not the God. Obviously, the God, the actual one who created all things, is the FSM, as Liz knows perfectly well. But, you know, he's a jolly popular God, the Christian chap. And according to his words, then you can do whatever you like down here on earth. And as long as you confess it or say sorry, then your ass gets straight into heaven. So you can't knock me. I'm just doing what God says. I do whatever suits me best for my own selfish, self-centered, narcissistic enjoyment. But I confess it and admit to it immediately, and then I can not confess, not condone, not whatever it is you do that begins with a C, something that you do with your sins or some such, and yeah, you just rock up to heaven and say, and he says, well, hang on, I'm looking at your file here, Boaty. You're an utter bastard down on earth. And you just say, yeah, I was. Sorry about that. And they'll say, fine, come on into heaven. There you go. Over there. The bar's open. Free bar, by the way. Help yourself. And it's all good. So, yeah, so I am living my life according to the Christian nature of God. And also my own God, the real one, the FSM, who happens to believe that we should all spend our lives pottering each other senseless, getting drunk and eating amazing food and having a good laugh. But, and this is where the FSM differs from other gods. There's none of this an eye for an eye, smite your enemy, all of that sort of thing. The FSM says, you know, don't be a tosser, don't be a shit, don't kill anybody in my name. I don't need you to do that. If people don't believe in me, fine. I don't give a toss, and neither should you. Let them bang on with it. So, yeah, we are the only mainstream religion which can truly say that not a single person has ever died in our name. And, you know, no Christians can say that. They went around slaughtering people left, right, and centre, as have other religions who've all got... If you read the small print, it all says, be nice, I'm a nice God, you should be nice people. By the way, kill all of the enemies. And there's none of that with us, none of that at all. Peace and love, brother, peace and love. And that's why I am not only a Pastafarian, but a Pastafarian minister, as is the lovely Liz, who will back up everything that I say. Well, not quite everything. She'll... As you'll see in the lunch video, she'll disagree with quite a lot of what I say. But when it comes to religion, we are very much on the same page. Oh, that wine's going down nicely. Oh, and if you're wondering what for supper tonight, it's Friday, staff curry. I haven't had curry all week. Well, not curry. I had my own homemade Chinese curry on Tuesday. But this will be my first curry since last Saturday, and I'm ready for it. Bad Book says, my brother-in-law on Meals Out only eats gammon with egg well done. So I always order him the gammon well done. He's a cock of the highest order. Barry says, steak is medium well. I like to know it's dead. Well, Barry... Quite honestly, mate, if you think that a cow can survive being slaughtered, peeled, and cut up into meal-sized portions, then you need to have a word with yourself, mate. And if you cook your steak medium well, then you're just bloody ruining it. You might as well have a beef burger, to be honest. Have a word with yourself. cook it medium rare, and if you come out with the old, oh, I don't like all the blood, cook it properly, there won't be any blood. You only get blood leaking out of your steak if you don't rest it. Remember, rules when cooking steak. I keep going on about this, you don't learn, do you? Number 1, never cook your steak from chilled. Always make sure it is very much at room temperature. So if you've got your steak in the fridge, which you probably will have, get it out of the fridge well before you even think about cooking it. I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's 17 minutes past midnight. And I'm in my own kitchen, stroke diner. And I'll jolly well burp if I feel like it. I've had enough wine to justify it. Steak, yeah, out of the fridge well before. Massage your steak with some really good olive oil. Season it with pepper only, no salt. Salt is bad for you. And then straight into a hot pan. And again, if you need me to tell you this, right, how do you know when your steak is cooked properly? You poke it, right? And if you want to know what you're looking for, take this hand here, right? Relax your hand, not like that, relaxed. That part there, press it, all right? Now, if your steak feels like that, it's rare. Put your thumb on your first finger, press it again. If your steak feels like that, medium rare. Third finger, medium. Fourth finger, medium well. Fifth finger, well done. That is how you check your steak. It's the only way. There's no point in putting timings on it because every piece of steak is different. But every piece of steak is made of the same fibres. So that is the only way to tell. And first finger and thumb, feel there. That is how your steak needs to feel. When it feels like that, get it straight out of the pan. And then rest it. Don't put it straight on the plate. Don't cut it. You need to rest your beef for at least as long as you cooked it. And if you do that, there'll be no blood leaking all over the place. If you ever see a steak with blood leaking, it's been cooked wrong. Simple as that. Doesn't matter how rare it is, there should be no blood if the steak has been rested properly. And if you don't rest your steak, then you will get that blood leakage, and that will make the steak dry and unpleasant. And if you cook your steak from chilled, then, you know, imagine going into a hot bath when you've just been in the snow. You've probably done that. It hurts and you go, ah! Well, your steak does exactly the same thing. If you put it in a hot pan from chilled, the steak goes, ah! Like that, and it'll just ruin it, bugger it up. The steak needs to be relaxed. It needs to be at room temperature. Ideally, you need to have played it at least the A side of a Barry White album whilst it's sitting at room temperature. And then it'll be nice and chilled and relaxed. It'll go into the pan really, really happily, and it will give you a jolly nice lunch, or indeed dinner, or perhaps supper. Although I don't think you should eat steak for supper. It's a lunch or a dinner thing. It's not a supper thing. And you know, those of you who've been eating steak for supper, well, you know, have a word with yourselves, quite honestly. Eggs for a guest, says Cheeseburger. Is mustard sore? Oh dear. We joke about this all of the time, and I wonder, there must be, maybe not you lot, maybe not the inner scrotum, but there must be some viewers out there who are firmly convinced that Mustard and I are having a full-blown torrid gay relationship. Oh God. Steak looks nice, says Cheeseburger. I thought it was a typo. And I owe you for introducing me to horseradish mustard. Well done, Cheeseburger, you're welcome. And there you go, you heard it from Cheeseburger. If you've not tried horseradish mustard, get it bought, get it tried, get that life of yours changed. John says, did your guest like her eggs fried, poached, boiled or fertilized? Well, on at least two of those options, I didn't give her a choice. They came fried and unfertilized. Oh dear. Oh, have you put your son in bed, asked Stigbürt? Oh yeah, he's not here tonight, is he? Thank God for that. He's probably out on the raz with his mates. How old did he say he was? 25. Well, if he's anything like his old man at 25, then at midnight, he'll be, probably getting ready to head to Liberty's on the Hagley Road, if it's still there. He's probably in TGI's or some similar establishment, chatting up a waitress. Evening, dollface. Oh dear. Right, so we're not going to be here much longer. You've got to name the video, name the show, name the streamy thing. Nobody's named it yet. Rare all the way with steak, says Neil. Anything above medium rare is a big no for me. Quite right too. The Dutch, says Bad Books, do steak and all meat almost raw. Good. And I'm a fan of raw steak as well. Steak tartare is a fabulous thing if you've never tried it. And you might wonder how you can eat raw steak safely. Well, you can. You just need a good butcher. And I've mentioned this before, but this is also why you must never. This is something that the Americans do wrong. And that's why they're all fat and unhealthy. No offence. Oh dear. The wine may be a teensy bit frozen, darlings. Whoops. Now, when you get a piece of steak, the steak has bacteria, right? That is just a fact. But the bacteria only lives on the surface. So, you can cook a steak rare and it will be perfectly safe. As long as you've cooked both surfaces to the correct temperature, the bacteria will be killed. So you can have a rare steak, not a problem. And if you've got a butcher, a good butcher, then you can have raw steak, as in steak tartare, perfectly safely, because he will butcher the meat in such a way as the surface areas with bacteria will not be included. You will just get the safe meat from that dwelleth within. So you can eat raw steak perfectly safely. But Americans and some other countries will offer to cook your beef burger medium rare. And that is an invitation to food poisoning. Never, ever, 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 ever do it. And the reason for that is quite simple. When you cook a steak, bacteria on the surfaces, steak cooks, bacteria gone. Turn it over. Steak cooks, bacteria gone. Rare inside, not a problem. Beef burger, that steak has been minced. Yeah? Now, when the steak is minced, the bacteria that was just on the surfaces during the mincing process goes completely through the mince. So every bit of that mince has got bacteria on it. And that is why your beef burger must be cooked thoroughly. Thoroughly. And that includes on barbecues. That's why so many people get food poisoning from barbecues. When their beef burger is crusty on the outside, but still a little bit raw on the inside. And people say, oh, it's okay, it's like a raw steak. They serve it like that in America. No, it's not okay. And that's why you had the raving shits. Or were talking to Huey and Ralph on the Great White Telephone all night. You've heard me. I'm rabid about beef not being overcooked, right? Roast beef, rare, medium rare. Steak, rare, medium rare. Raw steak, steak tartare, lovely, lovely jubbly, no problem. But if I cook a beef burger, that beef burger is cooked all the way through. And you must make sure that yours are too. Now then, listen to your father. I love Cheesecake Factory says cheeseburger. They're launching in the UK. Oh God, are they? The question is, says Ben, how did the vicar like his whites? Did he ask for them to be whisked up in a frenzy to a stiff peak? And did he explode his yolk everywhere? Oh God. Your morality, says Cheeseburger, is the same as mine, in the gutter. Yeah, best place for it. And then Ben says, no wonder the bed linen had to be laundered at 90 degrees with bleach. That was done before, in preparation. It hasn't been laundered since. There may be the odd stain. Oh dear. Sins with a C, says Cheeseburger. Cogitate. No, I can't think of the word. It probably doesn't begin with a C. I just think it did because I got obsessed with confession. No, I can't think. What is it you have to do if you're Christian and you go to heaven and you don't confess? That's Catholic. It's like, it's a word that means like admit to or something like that. And you have to do that. And as long as you do, you're allowed into heaven, I believe. I can't think. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, and good evening, one and all, says Ben. Ross is here. Hey, all. Hello, Ross. And Ben is still obsessed. I'll bet the vicar cogitated his eggs, good and strong. Driving, says Ross. So limited chat from me, but I'm listening. I'm going to be buggering off in about 2 minutes. Cow surviving, killed, slaughtered and cut up. Sounds like the first Mrs. C, says Cheeseburger. Oh, God. Boaty's Diner could be a new channel, says Cheeseburger. I have it on good authority, says Bad Books, that Maggie Thatcher runs heaven, so it's a nightmare. She got kicked out of hell for closing all the furnaces. Oh, dear. And then Steakhog says, I wondered why my mum used to leave the steak on the side. Ah, good woman, resting her meat. And Cheeseburger says, Mark, Thatcher isn't even corpse swap unless you're Liz Truss. Oh, that'd be a threesome, wouldn't it? That'd be a threesome. Oh, all-time fantasy threesomes. Dear me. And then Cheeseburger says, play a Barry White album. Do you make a white wine sauce at the same time? Have you seen the Lodge guys on YouTube? No. You and Mustard could be the Podge guys. Oh, Liberties is gone, says Cheeseburger. Oh my God, Liberties is gone. Oh, I have to thank Liberties for a lot of very good nights. Liberties was amazing back in the day. I had Cheeseburger, you'll know, what was it called? I had the special card that you couldn't buy, you had to be given. It meant you could do anything you liked. Oh, what was it called? God, I was really proud of that as well. Can't remember. Liberties was so good that the bar staff weren't paid a wage and they had a waiting list because they would earn more with tips than many a prostitute would earn working a full shift in a Sheffield massage parlour. Those girls earned good money. I loved Liberties, and TGI's was the thing when it first opened, and that was your night. Wherever you started out, you ended up in TGI's and then Liberties, and then Liberties was where you collected your woman, and oh God, and took her back to the flat at Portway. Oh, happy memories, those were the days. I saw Barry White eating raw steak, says Steve, in a restaurant. He said, I love you just the way you are. Oh dear. It's around the time when you start looking around the bar for 5 out of 10s or less, says Black Lines. We've all been there. Name for tonight, says Liz. Why I'm now paying for a TV licence. Screenshot that. And Cheeseburger says, or I'm buying a TV licence in the morning. Oh, and another one, hidden. Or hands off your cock and fold your socks. I might try and combine those. Boaty's rare treat steak, thanks to the weather. I once complained, says Adam, that a burger wasn't cooked in France because it was pink in the middle. It didn't go down well with the waiter. You're right on burgers, says Cheeseburger. The Americans always ask how you want it cooked. And then he says, are you sleeping in the wet spot? Am I bugger? It's all dried out now, isn't it? No, not confession. Another word. Means like admit to. Oh, I can't think. Maybe I'm imagining it. Stone bed linen, but flawless character. That's the best way round, says Ben. Boaty's resting his meat, says Cheeseburger. God help us all. Sophie's off. She's heard enough. Good night, all. Oh, I wouldn't know, says Cheeseburger. Couldn't afford to go to Liberties. Yeah, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap, but it was kind of the place to be. Where was the other place I used to go a lot? Rosie O'Brien's in Solihull. That was a haunt. God, if I had a really bad night, Cheeseburger, you'll know this. If I had a really bad night and went home early-ish, like before 1, and then thought, I don't want to go home, I used to go down and see my mate Dicker at Rackets nightclub. Where was it? Moon's Moat? Used to be a snooker club and turned into Rackets nightclub. I mean, it was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. But the head bouncer there, the head doorman, was a guy called Dicker. Lovely, lovely guy, really good mate of mine. I worked the doors there, believe it or not, beforehand. When the night out used to be the Oast House and then Rackets, I actually used to work the doors there. That's another story. I'll bore you with that another night. But yeah, there were a few nights where, if for whatever reason, normally Richard being taken too drunk or coked off his head, and I ended up home early, and I thought, oh, I don't want to be at home. Head down to Rackets at 1 o'clock, see my mate Dicker, no nonsense, no going in through the front door, straight up the fire escape and in the back. Free drinks at the bar, and pick up a dodgy bit of Redditch crumpet. I remember one night, she was a lovely girl. And I remember she had a t-shirt on saying, some girls do, some girls don't, I might. And I thought, that'll do. And all I can remember about her, I can't remember her name or anything like that. I just remember that Morris, Richard's father, at Portway the next morning, came up with what he used to come up with, like the best lines you've ever heard. And he came up with a great line. Now this girl, she was one of those girls that started young, and she had 3 kids, I found out. And in the morning, I did my normal thing, got up, took her home, came back to work. But, you know, everybody saw you taking her home. And Morris said, where'd you find that one? I said, oh God, rackets. Rackets last night. Whatever happened in Birmingham happened. And I ended up in rackets, and yeah. And he said, I said, she's all right, she's lovely. Got 3 kids. And he came up with the immortal line, well, he said, well, it wouldn't have come as a surprise to her then. And indeed it didn't. Morris came up with the best lines ever. I loved Morris. He taught me so much. I need to do a few videos where I talk about Morris, or to give him his proper name, Mike Shanley. He had a nom de plume. Morris, I can't remember what surname he used, but he used the name Morris, and we all called him Morris. And Richard, his son, who I ran the place with in the early days, before he went up to Spain and became incredibly rich, he was called Morris Minor. Morris, I'll remember tomorrow. It's too late at night. I'm annoyed I can't remember. But I could do about 100 videos just on stories of Morris or Mike Shanley. Those of you who are old school and knew Birmingham back in the day, you would know Mike from King Kong Cars in Birmingham city centre. You remember King Kong in Birmingham, somewhere near the bull ring, wasn't it? Mike bought King Kong when it was sold, the great big King Kong statue. And he set up King Kong Cars, all with a K. And he had the King Kong over the cars like that. And then he sold King Kong to Edinburgh or Glasgow, can't remember which, at a massive profit. And as soon as he sold it, he launched a charity called Bring King Kong Back to Birmingham. Having sold it and pocketed the money, he then started a charity to try and bring the bloody thing back, and pocketed all of that money as well. Mike was like a surrogate father to me. So was the goat. And I need to do videos where I talk about the Portway days a hell of a lot more. And I'll tell you all about Richard and Morris and the goat and Hillman Hunter and Private Trout, or Corporal Trout as it became. And Sergeant Trend, of course. I've got some amazing stories. You haven't heard the beginning of them. Oh God, it's 20 to 1. I need to let you go to bed. I'm so sorry, darlings. I've rattled on again tonight, haven't I? Where did I get to? Ah, there we are. Yes. My daughter uses the garden house a lot. Don't know that. No, not communion. Roses isn't in Solihull. Yes, yes. No, not castration, Ben. Moon's Moat in Redditch. I wasn't living there at the time. Sounds as rough as... Yeah, it was. Contrition. Yeah, that could be it, Liz. That could be it. That could have been the word I was thinking of. Thank you. Did you do bushwhackers in Worcester? Honest answer to that, Cheeseburger, is I think I did it once in the very early days. I think it was before the car showrooms, and I went with my mates Ricky and Paul, 2 brothers, in a brand new RS Turbo Escort. And all I can remember is maxing out the RS Turbo on the M5 on the way home. I can't remember anything about the club or anything like that. But yeah, I know I went there once, but I think it was only once. Once I got into my new life with, you know, my new set, social set, if you like, at the showrooms, then it was all Birmingham based. apart from the Thursday night pub, and I can't remember what that was called, heading out past, oh God, it was the place to be on a Thursday night. All of the biggest car traders went there on a Thursday, and that meant money. And so all of the women went there as well on a Thursday, because that's where the money was. And I can't remember. Lapworth, Cheeseburger, help me. Lapworth, the boot at Lapworth, was it? That was the place to be on a Thursday night, and it was the place to be at Christmas, because we always had our Christmas do upstairs at, I think it was the Boot in Lapworth, the Christmas do. We used to play 3-card brag. All of the Birmingham car dealers would get together for a game of 3-card brag, and it was serious. Houses changed hands during that game of 3-card brag, and you'll think I'm lying. I'm not. I once got a prile of 3s in a game of 3-card brag. Shouldn't happen, but it genuinely did. I won a year's wages on one hand. But yeah, we played 3-card brag, and then Ricardo used to bring in the girls from Legs 11, and we used to have a bit of a show. And one memorable year, we invited some guys from London up, car traders from London, and the whole night ended up in an absolutely massive scrap. And I mean, oh God, the pub got wrecked, absolutely wrecked. The Legs 11 girls legged it. They were off, and oh God, everybody properly went for it, and oh dear me, poor old Ricardo, he virtually had to pay for a new pub. It was a proper pitch battle. Bloody hell, I'd forgotten all about that until you brought it up. Oh, had some good Christmases in there. I'm sure it was the Boot. This is a ninja live stream, says Matt. Oh, hello, Matt. Only just got on YouTube to watch the UFC weigh-in, so hello and goodbye. Well, hello and goodbye. I've just listed an undercooked steak for sale on eBay. It's seriously rare. Well, thanks for leaving us with that crap joke before you bugger off, Matt. 3 kids, no, it wasn't, Cheeseburger. A tone, Trisha Alderman, thank you. A tone, that was the word. I knew it began with C. Trisha, God bless you. Choose your own God to have a blessing from. It's 1:15. Bloody hell. Cheeseburger says, King Kong cars and being sold to Scotland. Remember it well. And the Evening Mail campaign to bring it back, which Morris started. The man who sold it started that campaign. And his missus, was it the Evening Mail or the Birmingham Mail, Cheeseburger? Because his missus was editor at the Birmingham Mail. And it's amazing how many stories that were helpful to him were featured in the Birmingham Mail. Or maybe it was the same thing back then. Oh dear. I know the guys at Bushwhackers well, says Cheeseburger. I used to be their bank manager back in the day. Oh, the Boot at Lapworth, says Cheeseburger. Carrots local. Yeah, well, they were mates. I've told you before that Baker's Lane was like Millionaire's Row. So you've got kind of next door to each other. You had Carrot or Bob, and I've told you, I won't bore you again. I knew Bob very well. I sold cars to him. I sold cars to him. I sold his cars. I had his Ferrari for a long time, the 365 GTC4, and I've told you the story about that and how much money you lost on it. Also, there was Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, who was just the loveliest guy ever. Loved him to bits, dealt with him a lot. And the lovely Bev Bevan, who was, again, one of the nicest human beings that you could ever meet. I've told you about him as well. Lovely, lovely people. Lex 11 on the Hagley Road is still going, says Cheeseburger. Oh, that's good. Oh, Birmingham Mail in Brum, says Cheeseburger. Evening Mail in the provinces. Yeah, and Shannon was the bloody editor. And Shannon was, at that time, it was before they got married. Shannon was Mike's girlfriend, I think, and Mike might have still been married to Sally at the time. But she was on the scene and she was very helpful. I've got so many stories I could tell you. And I will, I'm bound to. Especially if it's like 1:45 in the morning and I should let you go to bed. I've really enjoyed tonight. I'm glad I decided to do this. Thank you, those of you who bore with and came along. Sorry for interrupting you on a Friday night. I'll try and not molest you again tomorrow. Let's have a look at my screenshot for the name of the live stream. I think we're going to go with Liz's and why I'm now paying for a TV license. Thank you for that, Liz, and thank you all of you for being with me tonight. Means the world. Really enjoyed it. And yes, let's all go. I'm so sorry. I feel guilty now. I was only going to do half an hour just to say hello, and it's been an hour and 20 minutes. My deepest apologies. And hope you all have a fabulous day tomorrow. Oh dear. Right, come on, let's get some farting on. It's been great tonight. I love these. This is what I wanted to do tonight. This is what I miss. This is what I miss when when we're not together. It's just so much fun. And I hope you guys enjoy it even half as much as I do. Okay, here we go. No, we don't. Yes, we do. All right, darlings. Thank you so much for being here. You're all absolutely fabulous. And I couldn't love you any more than I do. Have a safe and peaceful night. And please have the best day tomorrow. Have the best weekend that you possibly can. Enjoy it. And take great care of yourselves. And those of you who are, going through it at the moment, thoughts and prayers and sending love and strength. And I will see you on Monday. Yes, brilliant. All right, sleep tight, my lovelies. Thanks again. Bye-bye.